Good evening, South Africa. We are back. Tell it as it is. Today, we've got a special guest. We've got somebody who's proud to be part of the community. I call them a community of LGBTQ plus. You know? And I like it when I took it and said plus. And then he's very proud to be part of that community. Today, we are going to talk all about them being in sport and how sport is taking them. His name is Xolani Gumede, all the way from Mpumalanga.
Yes.
How are you, Xolani?
I'm good, thanks, and you, Madam President.
Are you excellent?
I'm fabulous cheese and fabula.
Actually, I was expecting that
Je ne
from
sais
you.
quoi.
I was expecting that from you.
That's me,
Oh, exactly.
each and every day.
Xolani, let's get into the matter. At home, let's start. It all begins at home.
Yes.
Charity begins at home. When you disclose that you're gay, how was the reception at home?
Honestly speaking, because I was raised by my mother, my father passed when I was still young. And when I came out to my mother that I am gay, it was a little bit hard for her up until the later stage whereby she started to understand me and she started to accept me. Because most of the families, they don't accept, but they tolerate their children.
I want that English. They don't accept, however, they tolerate.
Yes.
Take people through. Why are you saying they don't accept, but they tolerate? Because we need people to understand what is that meaning of tolerating and accepting.
Yeah, when we talk about accepting and tolerating, accepting is when a person can also stand for your behavior, your advocate in the community that my child is gay and will be able to talk about you. When you talk about tolerance, it's whereby the family would say, we have a gay child. That's it. There will be there won't be those kind of engagements within talking about your sexuality or your sexual orientation. But with acceptance, people, they will accept you. They will be able to talk about you even to the community. They will be able to talk about you, even stand for you, be the advocates, be the activist for you. When you go out there and saying, I'm gay, they'll be holding your hand. But tolerance, will be saying, oh, into yakho le, you can just go there.
Yeah.
Into yakho, it's not us for us to entertain it. That's how that's the difference.
How did it make you feel? Here you are, you know in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your soul that you're gay. And then you have to sit with your mother. Who knows that I gave birth? We are telling it as it is.
Yes.
Who knows that I gave birth to a boy child? The one that was written on the birth certificate, it's a boy. So how did you go about doing it? Because not only you, people are still struggling to come out of the cocoon,
Yes.
to come out there, to make their parents, to make their brothers, their sisters, their uncles, their aunts understand.
Honestly speaking, for me to come out to my parents, it's whereby, you know, in the community, people will talk about you. And you remember when you start to be in the adolescent stage, people will start to ask, we don't see a girlfriend. What's happening? That's when I had to sit down with my mother to say, you know what, there won't be any girlfriend, but I think there will be a boyfriend. That's why I said it was very hard for her. But that's when, again, when I told her and take it step by step, that's when, again, she started to understand and started to accepting. And that's when we also had a way to communicate and ask each other questions. And we'll have our own, let me say, rules to say, you can do your thing, but sometimes we need to have that respect to say, as much as you are dating someone, you can bring that someone to me so they can know the person. Not but also come with a person that I know that person.
Okay, you know the person, the mother knows the person. You don't fall from a tree. You're from a family that's got relatives.
Yes.
You're from a community.
Yeah.
How did first your relatives accept you and thereafter the community? Because you cannot expect us as the community of Mpumalanga, of Sibanda, where you're from,
Yes.
to accept you. However, where your relatives, your uncles, your aunts, your nephews, your niece, they don't accept you.
Yes.
So how do you go about that?
And funny enough, within the family, I was the Chacharakhwan, if I may say like that.
We was papela.
Yeah, we use papel.
Yeah.
And I was the one who, if there's a funeral, it's me, and I'm doing the catering. So it was easier for them to be like, man, we always seen that he was gay and all that. So I was the one. If there's a wedding there, I'll be the wedding organizer or the wedding planner and all those things. So my family from my mother's side mostly, they took it easier to understand and to accept. From my father's side, because my father passed at a very young age, and for me to visit them, it was kind of a story. But some of the family, they know that I'm gay. Some of them, they are still like, it's just a passing phase. By the way, I'm running to 50 right now, and they're still a
Are
passing
you?
phase. No, don't. A gay don't never tell the child age.
A gay never does what?
Never tells the age.
Why?
No, I may look young,
Yeah.
but my age is very old.
Oh wow.
People say I'm at 26, but I'm above.
Oh, you are reaching 50.
I think I'm going to play the Legends tournament side soon.
I love that one.
Yes.
So, Xolani, you sport. Let's talk. But before we talk about that and we go further, we want to first understand Xolani in the community.
Yes.
And Xolani going out there and saying, I want to do a female-dominated sport. I want to do netball.
Yeah.
I don't want to do football because I don't know what was going to happen to you with football. I don't want to do rugby. Don't know what was going to happen to you in rugby. However, you decided to do netball. Tell us, the community, how did they accept you?
You know, with democracy being how it is now, with the policies and our brilliant constitution, the community now is starting to be more open. But in those olden days, with the 90s, it was whereby they call you names, Boputsesi, Staban, and all those words. It was very difficult even to walk on the street, because you see, with us, most gay people, we are femme, because we have our own titles of calling each other femme acting and straight acting. So I'm mostly femme. So going the street, even my voice, now it changed to be an alto. I used to have a very thin voice. So it was very difficult even to talk. Sound, like, you understand?
But
so,
you funny?
Yes. But now with the years coming along, now the community is starting to be more open, starting to be more accepting.
Now you are no longer Sisboot.
No, now I'm Xolani.
Okay.
I am Xolani from Unamgai, from Emavunda
Yes.
Street, you understand?
Oh.
When you ask people where does Xolani stay, they'll say Ushomo Pilo, then they will
Loizan.
okay.
Ah,
You understand? Then they will
Those
show
are
you.
his Loizan.
Yeah, but
Remember, we are telling
yes,
it as it is.
yes.
Because we cannot say it's stubborn, and we be afraid to say it. I'm glad that those words have been said by you. Because you're saying this is what the community associates you with, and they're saying he's stubborn, he lays. But now they're coming back to say, but you are one of our own.
Yes. You understand? And I think as well, growing up, being active maybe in community activities as well, being an activist, LGBTIQ activist, also helped a lot, because that's where we did our each one teach one workshops, whereby we also capacitated our community in terms of them understanding types of the acronyms, the LGBTIQ, what is it all about? Because it's not only ending there. There's other acronyms as well, to say, don't say that you are straight. There's nothing straight in this world. There's nothing straight in this world. That's what I always say. Because there's other acronyms. I'm telling you, madam, there's other acronyms.
There's nothing straight in this world. There's so many straight things in this world. On that note, we are coming back. There's everything straight in this world. South Africa, we are back. There's everything straight in this country. Xolani is saying there's nothing straight in this world. And I'm saying there's everything straight in this country. So let's go back there, Xolani. Why there's nothing straight in this country?
A spaghetti is always straight until you put it in hot water, then it bends. A mental is always straight until you put it in the heat, then it also bends. That's what I'm saying. Hence, I'm saying there is lots of acronyms, and people only tend to focus on L, the G, the D, the T. And there's also the S, the P's, and everything. There's also sapiosexuals, there's also pansexuals, there's also demisexuals, asexuals. That's what I'm saying with everyone. There's nothing straight.
You're an activist.
Yes.
Tell us about other acronyms. What do they mean, and what is that we should expect from those people?
As I'm talking about sapiosexual.
Yes.
Sapiosexual is someone who's sexually and emotionally attracted to someone's intelligence.
Wow.
Then we have people that are demisexual, that it's rarely they fall in love with a person.
Yeah.
They take time to fall in love with a person.
Yeah.
An asexual person is someone who does not have any feelings. They are not sexually attracted to anything. We also have autosexual. Autosexual are
Yeah.
people that they are attracted to themselves. They will have sexual pleasure with themselves. So you understand where I'm going with this thing? It means that everyone, there's things that they do, and it tends to be a sexual orientation or a gender identity as well. Like you can see me right now. I'm wearing all male clothing.
Yes.
Tomorrow you can see me wearing a dress. That's gender fluid.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Today you have transgender people who are not conforming to the norms of being how they were assigned at birth.
Yeah.
They were assigned at birth as a male, but now they are female. They see themselves as women. And maybe they go to the extent of doing the hormonal replacement therapy. So those kind of things are happening within our community. But now our community is only focusing on the L, the G, and the B, and the T, forgetting the other acronyms as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's why
I've learned a lot
That's why we are
today.
saying now it's LGBTI XYZ, because there's lots of also other sexual orientations that are coming through.
X, Y,
Z.
Z.
Because if I can tell you, we have 22 sexual orientations and 64 gender identities.
Oh, wow.
So you see,
22
sexual
orientations.
That is who you fall in love with and
Oh,
sexually
wow.
arouse you.
Yes.
22 types of
Yes.
sexual orientations. And gender identity is how you identify yourself. Actually, the community is constructing us as a male and female.
Yes.
But we have transgenders, we have gender fluids, we have drag queens, we have all those kind and andronism, people that are masculine. You can be a female, but like all adrenaline and have that masculine body. You see, those kind of gender identity.
So let's get into the real matter.
Yes.
Telling it as it is. Lesbians, gays, let's talk about it in sport. I don't
Yes.
want to mention a certain sporting code.
Yes.
Because I think I'll not be doing justice to the sporting codes, because some of these sporting codes, they hide that they've got lesbians.
Yes.
They hide that they've got gays
Yes.
within their communities. And then tell me, how do you think you're accepted in sport?
I think with our sport, telling it as it is, with our sport now, it's still that dominant of saying that it's predominantly played by males or predominantly played by females. Those are the two types of sport that we are having. And within, when you have, let's not talk about mostly my sporting code. Let's talk about football maybe.
Yes.
You would find that football, a male football player is playing a soccer, because it's a male sport, as it's been put out there. You'd find that one individual player is gay within the club, and they are afraid to come out because how they will be perceived by the other players. They will be looked as if now they are perverts. Now umuntu seyangibuka ngoba seyengifuna and all those things, and it's not like that. Maybe you're not even my type.
Oh,
I'm just there playing sport.
please, let's not even go to types now.
you
You'll be saying he doesn't even have my standards.
You understand?
Xolani, please. But I'm interested in, people are talking out there.
Yes.
People are saying in netball, a lot of female players are lesbians. In Banyana Banyana,
Yes.
in other football, lesbians.
Yes.
In netball, we've got gays.
Yes.
I mean, I'm proud to say that, because our LGBTQI plus, they are not scared to say that they're out there and this is what is happening.
Yes.
But do you think that the sporting federations has accepted this community?
I doubtfully say they accepted the community. I would say this. Look at the sponsorships. Let's talk about sponsorships.
Yeah.
If you can check, I'm sorry to bash my federation. Most of the sponsorship is going towards the female side of it, because it's a female sport. And when it comes to us males, it's rarely that we get sponsorship. Look at soccer. It's most of the sponsors, they go towards males, not coming to the female side. It's only now that some of the sponsorship are coming through for the females, because they're doing well internationally. So, and now I think for the males, there's gonna come sponsors, because now we're doing also well internationally. So I think as well, there's still those underlying issues that say, you know what? At the end of the day, you are a female. We don't mind your sexual orientation. You are a female, or we don't mind your sexual orientation. You are a male. Because I think as well, if you're going to be putting those things of saying that I'm gay, playing netball. Now you're going to be a gay netball player.
So it's a title
It's
that
gonna
is
be a title
bestowed
now.
on you.
Yes, now it's gonna
To
be-
say now you're not a netball
Yes,
player.
you are
a gay netball player.
Yes.
You are not a football player.
No,
You are a lesbian
yes.
football player.
And another thing, you're gonna be playing soccer. You are a lesbian playing soccer so that you can be more masculine. You are playing netball because you want to be more feminine.
Oh.
And going to those sporting codes, not only lesbians or not only gays are playing those sporting codes, there are also straight people, as you said, that are playing those sporting codes as well. So, and I like to appreciate those people to say, you know what? As much as there's this kind of community, we want to associate ourselves with them to break the stigma within the sporting code to say it's not only focusing on those things.
So when it's like that, tell me, you are in a team and you find yourself being the only one who's straight or being the only one who's gay.
Yes.
Have you experienced that?
I would talk about me when I started to play netball.
Yeah.
So when I started to play netball, I was playing for a team called Golden Eagles. And then later changed to Sakila Netball Club. There were two of us that were males playing for Sakila Netball Club. You understand when you're going for the leagues, it's only female and there's no male teams to play against with. And it was very hard for us because we were only there to play or to practice with them. So in the later stages, whereby we started to recruit more males to come through and play, we started to have our own male team, which is the Mighty Hawks. We started to have our own team to play against other teams within the Gert Sibanda. That is where now we started to grow with the sport as well. But to say all in all is that it's very difficult, especially coming from Gert Sibanda, rural areas.
Yeah.
You would find a specific club, especially you can go like to your Mayflower, to your Dakakral, you would find a specific club having maybe one or two males playing there. But when it's coming to competition times, they are just there on the side. They are not having any game time.
Xolani, I want, when we come back from the break, as we break, so as we can pay some bills, I want us to ask Xolani, how is it, there's a difference, I've seen it, between a rural gay and an urban gay. Welcome back. As we're talking the other community, that we call it the other community where I'm from, to say there's a community of LGBTQI+. And I'm told there are many other, what do you call them? Acronyms that are there of this community. I've learned a lot today. However, I'm going back to my question, Xolani.
Yes.
The difference between a rural gay and an urban gay.
A difference between a rural gay and an urban gay, I can say I'm coming from the hairy urban area. So for those who are coming from the rural areas, it's very hard for them to be more flamboyant and more out there, because most of the time you'd find that they are staying in the places where there's chiefs. And then in the Zamakos, you understand, umfazi. And sometimes some of the gay people, they want to express themselves by their dress code, maybe wearing the so-called female clothing and all that. So it's very hard for them to dress up as they want to dress up. And then when you come to the urban areas, coming to your Joburg and all that, they are like everywhere, Kibo Chomi and everything. They are walking freely on the street and all those things. And then when even at home, when umama a gay person on the television, ubona uSomizi, ubona, and also to mention names, ubona boSomizi, ubona boBanibanyana. Even you can take now, for an example, we have a gay person who was staying in our town and moved to Joburg. If Manga is coming from Standerton, people will say, unamanga. You understand? Because of how they were in Standerton and how they are now in Joburg. These two different people. Even if Avarashekaya now has to change his style and come back to be the Standerton person, you understand? Now the frontals.
So are they those that, you're telling me something? So some of you go out there and be gay, but when you come home, you're indoor.
Yeah. There are
full men.
There are some of those that if you can check most of the queer people, they would make sure, if they're in the school level, they make sure that they excel, that they get chances to go to the universities. That's where they will flamboyant and be who they are. Coming back at home for the holidays, now they must start again to live in Pilo Yasekaya, Yoguti, I'm this person. So we have those people that will live in double lives.
gay and church, we are telling it as it is.
Yes.
Churches accept people for who they are born to be by God.
Yes.
How do you find it?
I think with churches it's still a open a Bible situation.
Yeah.
And if we don't know that you're gay, it's
Yeah.
fine. But once we find out that you are gay, we start to open Bibles. And I feel that within the churches, we have lots of queer people within churches that are hiding themselves. And I'm sorry, because I'm going to say where I church,
Yeah.
we have like a bus load of gay people.
Mm.
We have a bus load of queer people within our church where I'm churching at. And it's very, we that open, some of them, but we don't say, okay, here I am, I'm gay. But they will say, okay, this one, how Xolani understand it's like that. But in our church, you still have that thing of saying that if you know that you are gay, we'll open those verses. If you don't know that you are gay, and what's funny enough, my money is never gay. My tithe is never gay. You will pay your contribution.
Come again. I love that, but we need to repeat it. South Africa, I want you to listen to that.
My tithe is never gay.
Your tithe is not gay.
Yes. My contribution is
It's
never
not
gay.
gay.
But the person,
You are gay.
You are gay.
And that's how our churches
That's
are.
how our churches are. They
We
will,
need to change
they
the
will
mentality.
welcome the money, but they will not welcome the person.
How do we change? Because we cannot only complain and not come up with a solution. How do we change the mentality of church people to say, take me as I am?
It's a very vast, it's a very difficult one because, you know, people will tend to say we follow the laws of the Bible. And when a person says that I follow the laws of the Bible, then I will ask you, why are you reading Leviticus 18 verse 22? But from verse 1 to 21, there were still some laws to say you cannot wear different kind of materials. That's not okay. You cannot shave your hair. You cannot eat shrimps. But when it comes to other things, my sin is bigger than your sin. So I think as well, people will
Who's the judge? Remember, I don't think none of us are judges. There's only one person who's the judge. It's the man above.
The problem is we have judges. I think God has put judges on earth that we don't know of because we tend to judge people before God. We tend to we say that we are preaching the word of God, but in a way we are judging people.
So tell me, what do you think can be done in the country to have policies accepted within the community? When I'm talking about the community, I'm talking about the community, the traditional authorities, the churches. Remember, it's everything that is there. So as this law can be put into place, so as people can be, safe. Let's tell the truth. In some instances, people of your time are not safe at all.
At all.
They are killed and we cannot run away from that. They are abused. We cannot run away from that. So what can you say to this country? What can happen?
It's funny that you're asking that question. In our country, we have a beautiful constitution. We have a beautiful policies. The problem with our policies is in black and white and never implemented. If you can look what you're saying now, everything you are saying is there in policies. We have a policy, a human rights policy, we have a gender commissioning policy and all those things. We have that to say you may not discriminate a person according to your sexual orientation. But the problem is that it's never implemented. You understand? You would go to commissions, you'll go to those kind of meetings whereby you sit and consult and everything, but it's never implemented. I think the change is whereby we should not do things in black and white and never implement them. Do them in black and white and then we implement. If it means that
Who should implement? You see, that's my problem. We always say, it should be done. It should be done. Who should do it?
It's us, the people. It's us, the queer people. And I think as well, some of the things are done as a by the way. You understand? We have a by the way things whereby now maybe during the end of the financial year, they'll say, by the way, we need to have a program for LGBTI people. Then this is happening. When you start to approach those officers to say, I have this kind of a program, kindly assist me. We don't have funding. So I think as well, we have to have this to say nothing for us without us.
Yes.
Because if you do that, they will see that there's a need for this because there's no want in everything we need. There's a need. There's a need for hormonal replacement therapy. There's a need because other transgender people, they don't afford to go throughout that therapy. There's a need for it. And if our government will say, government, we have this certain number of people that want to transition, and there's a high number. They'll say there's no budget for that. But now there's a need, and nothing for us without us.
Nothing for us without us. As we close this episode of this beautiful community that I've got the honor to lead in the sporting code that I lead, which is netball. Let me say to you, South Africa, thank you for watching. And let us not point fingers at each other. Let us not classify each other. Let us not say we are the by the ways, as it was said. Let us unite and say, whoever I want to be, let me be. Whoever you want to be, let us you be who you want to be. Because at the end of the day, we are humans, all loved by our Almighty Father.